Good evening. I would like to formally welcome all of you and thank you for attending tonight's State of the District meeting. Whether you are here in person or you're watching from the comfort of your own home, I appreciate your participation in this event. A little housekeeping item just to get started with. Please remember to go vote on March 10th. Voting in Jaffrey will be right here at Conan High School. Voting in Ringe will be at the Ringe Memorial School. There are several articles on the ballot, all supported by our school board. I would like to, however, highlight one of them. In particular, we do have a 4-year contract for the JRCSD support staff. And if you can go to the polls and be thinking about the fact that these people do just an important work in our community, in our school, and with our kids. And we could not function without their dedication to our schools and to our children. I think the best place to formally start tonight is with communication. Last year, a team of community members, teachers, administration, school board members regularly met to develop a Jaffrey Ringe Cooperative School District communication plan. This plan included a vision for how we want communication to be throughout our district. The adopted plan stresses that communication must reflect the district's core values as outlined in the adopted strategic design. Communication is to be timely, accurate, consistent, clear and concise, easily accessible, relevant, effective, mindful of audience content and purpose, and characterized by active listening and a respectful exchange of ideas. Lastly, all stakeholders in this plan understand that communication is a two-way street. Our district over this past year has made great strides in the area of communication. Since this plan was developed, we hired a new communication coordinator, n.handy. He has been instrumental in ensuring that we stay on pace with the activities and strategies outlined in the communication plan. There are two major categories of this plan: improving internal communication and improving external communication. On a quarterly basis, a communication plan review team made up of several individuals who took part in the development of that plan assesses our communication improvement efforts. I am pleased to report that with a few exceptions, we have adhered to the plan and that the team agrees that the work that we have done is good. But we are also in agreement that what we've really done is we've developed a firm foundation for future enhancement of communication. Thus, though this was a visionary plan, we've done some great work and we're going to continue to implement that plan, we see the need to further develop that plan to be more future focused. However, for practical next steps, at our next meeting, the team is going to be reviewing a part of the plan that is going to focus on bundling our communication technology. So that next year, starting in the fall, we should have a different website platform along with an app that every individual, every stakeholder can utilize that will be useful. And all that will be tied in with a program that is similar or the same as our communication, our overall all-call communication system. We have audited our internal communication as well. Earlier this year, the administration, in collaboration with the Jaffrey Ringe Education Association, or the JREA, which is the teachers association here in Jaffrey and Ringe, we worked with the Harvard Negotiation and Mediation Clinical Program to thoroughly audit how we currently communicate internally. After conducting a thorough study, this outside agency provided us with recommendations as to how we could be more effective with our internal communication. JREA President Sheila Nichols was instrumental in bringing this opportunity into our district. Since the report came out, the district administration and several of the JREA members have developed a standing meeting each month to discuss areas of communication, and we have actually formed a joint newsletter that we will be sending out every single month. We've sent one out so far this past month, and so that's really neat. A little over 2 years ago, in December 2017, the school board adopted a strategic design. While not a complete roadmap or plan, it is the visionary document that directs our improvement efforts. In the spring of 2018, we created a simple logic model to summarize the work that needed to be accomplished over time. The model, an arrow that represents continuous growth and a district moving forward in an aligned manner, explains that our efforts early on were and are still to develop and adhere to viable learner outcomes, support our learning facilitators as they continue to learn, grow, and shift in mindset, develop and utilize quality assessments, implement the use of a new learning management system that would help track each learner's growth throughout the years that they are here in the Jaffrey Ringe Cooperative School District, and develop community partnerships aimed at providing our learners increased opportunities to be successful. While, as is the case with any change process, we have had our ups and downs, we have stayed on track with these efforts. We continue to build upon the curriculum work that has been done in the district over the past 2 years. An example of this continued work is that we have been through the year and currently are working with teams of kindergarten teachers through 12th grade, working to more concretely define the building blocks of our math learning progressions, further define what it looks like for a learner to demonstrate proficiency in mathematics, and also support improved practices and acquisition of materials that will further our efforts now and in the years to follow. As we work through this process, we've realized what we're really doing simultaneously is we're developing a procedure that can be duplicated for all other subject area work. Our district has made a concerted effort this year to research, develop, and utilize better assessment methodology. I am pleased to report that we have made very good strides in this area. Part of this effort includes the improved use of data to inform instruction. Though still very much a work in progress, we have made growth nonetheless. For example, at the middle high school, our teachers regularly meet to discuss curriculum, to use communication protocols to support the discussion around data, and to develop assessments. While these are practices that need to be enhanced, the sheer fact that these processes were implemented this year is a key factor in moving the district toward achieving the outcomes laid out in the strategic design. For next year, we will continue all the work that I just discussed, and in addition, we will plan to, as the arrow showed, implement a new learning management system. The first year of this implementation will be an internal one only. Our learning facilitators are going to need to take the time, take the year most likely, to populate this learning management system, learn how to use the tool, and get to the point where they feel comfortable to use it for reporting. It is highly unlikely that we'll use this for reporting next year. Also, when we do come back to this point next year and talk about further implementation, it would likely be a staggered implementation throughout several years of using that sort of communication tool to the community. Also next year, we will continue to further our efforts in providing preschool opportunities for 4-year-olds. Not only will we have the opportunity for full-day preschool for 4-year-olds in Jaffrey, which this year we've had it at the Jaffrey grade school, serving both Ringe and Jaffrey students, we will be adding for this coming year an option in Ringe as well. There is a lottery for this, and if you're here or if you're watching this from home right now and you're interested in this and you haven't entered that lottery, you can still do so. If you go to one of the websites, the Jaffrey Grade School website or the Ringe Memorial School website, there are forms there, there's a process. The date for putting that all in and getting all the paperwork in is tomorrow, March 6th, but there still is time, and that lottery will be for not only the full day preschool, but also for the half day. And we also have room for 3-year-olds within that half day preschool as well. As we continue to move down the path of being a more forward-thinking, flexible system, we need to make certain that we have leadership capacity that can keep everyone focused on the goal. Since a very large portion of the work we have ahead of us is curriculum, instruction, and assessment, we will be instituting a new curriculum, instruction, and assessment leadership model starting this next school year. This model will be a shared decision-making model, a collaborative model that will consist of teachers, administrators, and some community members. A concrete way to think about this or look at this is that there will be 3 teams of 5 members, 15 individuals, 3 teams, 1 team for curriculum, 1 for instruction, 1 for assessment. Of course, they will work together as a group of 15 as well. The individuals who will be on that team will be from a variety of subjects, grade levels, and schools to ensure that we're covering all of our bases. One of the very first duties of this team will be to take the 30-page strategic design document and condense it to a 1 or 2-page document that has some pictures as well, so that we can better communicate to the entire community, both, again, internally and externally, in a better way to make certain that we understand the goals and the direction that we're heading. But one team cannot do it all. Rather, it takes the work of a variety of leaders to ensure we have a sustainable effort. With this in mind, we developed and implemented a leadership academy for teachers aimed at enhancing teacher leadership in our district. This partnership between the Jaffrey Ringe Cooperative School District and Keene State College was set up to provide, at least for this year, over 30 educators with 15 credits worth of graduate level coursework geared toward building or strengthening their capacity to improve and to help others improve. Though the first cohort has not yet completed all courses, as we are still in this year, many have come to me and have indicated that they've been inspired and have really appreciated the Leadership Academy this year. We are currently in discussions with Keene State College about running a second one starting next fall. This time, however, we would be targeting teachers who would like to take advantage of this avenue of growth, but do so in a slower time frame, so over a 2-year period of time. Again, the goal of the Leadership Academy is to provide our educators with increased expertise in leading their own change while also supporting the district's change efforts. This is called, as the leading author on educational change, Michael Fullen, has coined the phrase, building collective capacity. And that's a necessary element for continuous improvement and sustainability of change efforts. Our students and staff have accomplished many exciting things this year, and they continue to do so. At all grade levels, students receive commendations for their academic and work habit efforts. The Commendable Cardinal Award at Jaffrey Ringe Middle School is an example of these types of awards. Commendable Cardinal Awards are given out to those students who demonstrate strong habits of mind, such as, but not limited to, perseverance, interdependent thinking, and listening with understanding and empathy. Our long-standing science teacher, Margie Clark Cavan, was recognized at the beginning of this year for her years of dedication to our learners, both in the classroom and her efforts with them after school outside the classroom. She, as well as her colleague in the science department, Susan Rolk, have recently been recognized by being chosen to take part in exciting educational experiences in which only select individuals, and I mean a few select individuals throughout the nation, get a chance to participate. Jaffrey Grade School teacher Morgan Cooper was honored as the Harris Center for Conservation Education's Teacher of the Year. And earlier this year, Conant High School field hockey coach Jackie Brown was selected as the 2019 Division III Coach of the Season. This year, we have made a concerted effort to get our learners involved beyond the typical school day. While we have often had strong athletic teams, and if you were at the game last night over at Keene State, our girls, congratulations to them. They will be going to the finals in the basketball tournament for Saturday, also at Keene State College, I think to start off at 7 or 7:30 in the evening. So good luck to them. While we often have had strong athletic teams and clubs in which students could take part, we have not always used these opportunities to actively reach out to all students. We know that youth who are actively involved in athletics, clubs, church youth groups, philanthropic activities, and community activities are more likely to be well-rounded individuals who demonstrate resiliency in life and who are civic-minded throughout their careers. Our elementary schools have had parents volunteer to run Lego Robotics Club. At the middle high school this year, we were awarded a grant to start a robotics team. Although this team was small and relatively new, it actually performed remarkably well. It was really neat to see the excitement in the students' eyes. And in an effort to increase the number of students actively involved in athletics, our athletic director, David Springfield, in collaboration with other school and district administrators, implemented a no-cut policy, something that hadn't been done here at this district before. What that means is that if we run out of space for players on a team, or if we need a team for a different skill level, the athletic department has created ways for learners to be involved and to be successful. The research out of the Search Institute in Minneapolis, Minnesota shows that there are what they refer to as 40 developmental assets for raising resilient, highly capable learners. 20 of those assets are internal in nature, 20 are external. Our efforts with our sports and other activities center or focus on increasing the number of students' external assets, which in turn increases the number of internal assets on that list. The more assets a learner has, the more likely they will grow up to lead healthy, productive lives. One of those assets has been very prevalent for a long time throughout our population of learners, and that's giving back to our community. Our learners throughout this district give of themselves. Certainly at our high school, the Interact Club, whose motto is service above self, are regularly looking for avenues to support the local community as well as communities abroad. Our high school's student council fundraised and was able to provide gifts for over 30 students in need this past holiday season. Rins Memorial learners wrapped new socks and wrote kind messages to send to those individuals who utilize the 100-night shelter in Keene during the winter months. 4th and 5th grade learners from Jaffrey Grade School made bread and donated over 66 loaves to local charities. JGS students also donated over $600 to the Koala Hospital in Australia to help victims of the wildfires. Conant High School students served meals to local veterans before Thanksgiving. These are just some highlights of what our learners do so often. Inside of the school, alongside with their families, with their churches, and in conjunction with other local nonprofit organizations. And we are very proud of our compassionate, loving students here at the Ringe and Jaffrey schools. Though not explicitly laid out in our district strategic design,